guys for participating in the conference call. We just wanted to introduce DJ out here in Asia, but also talk about, from a global perspective, what this means to DJ and what this means to the organization. Obviously, it's a huge move for all parties, and I think bigger things are going to be coming down the pipe as a result. In any case, let's just kick it off to DJ.
Yes, thank you guys so much for having me on the call, everybody in Asia and also on my side of the world in North America. I'm very honored and grateful to be able to be a one athlete. It's a huge move on my part and for my career. I'm looking to get over there in Asia and testing my skill set against the best in One Championship in the flyweight division. I know those guys are animals. I know Jay, Moraes, all the other guys are beasts, and I'm looking to get in the ring with those guys to see how well I fare out.
Great. We can go right into questions, Joanna.
Sure. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll now begin the question and answer session. If you wish to ask a question, please press star 1 on the telephone and wait for your name to be announced. If you wish to cancel a request, please press the pound or hash key. Please note, we will take one question at a time from each caller. If you have more than one question, please request to join the question queue again after your question has been addressed. Once again, it's star 1 for question. Our first question comes from Damon Martin from MMA Weekly. Please ask your question.
Hey guys, DJ, congratulations on the new deal. From my understanding, this was a move kind of started with your management team. So can you kind of walk us through how this idea even came about, and why did you want to ultimately leave the UFC?
At the end of the day, I felt that I'm pretty young in my career, and I wanted to try something different. I've always wanted to travel the world and compete, and actually grew up watching Asian mixed martial arts, with pride mostly. And to be able to have the opportunity to travel over to Asia to compete in a wholly different weight class, it was something I couldn't pass up. So obviously I believe, with working with first round manager Malky, after my last fight, I was like, you know what? Do you think this is something to be possible? He goes, anything's possible, man. And so Malky was able to get it done, and here we are now. And I'm grateful that everything fell to the right place, and now I'm a one athlete. I'm looking forward to see what happens.
Thanks, DJ.
Thank you. Our next question comes from Tom Taylor from bjpen.com. Please ask a question.
Yeah, hi guys. My first question is actually for Chartri. Chartri, your former flyweight champion, Kairat Akhmedov, said on Instagram the other day that he had heard from you that talk about DJ's potential move to One Championships kind of started all the way back in January. I'm wondering if that's accurate, and if not, when the talks for this big trade really started, or when they kicked off.
I mean, the talks began, as DJ had mentioned, when DJ had reached out to Malky, and Malky, I guess, took the lead and coordinated everything, and I think he came up with the idea with Ben Askren and the whole trade, and so that's how it happened. I'm not sure what Kairat is talking about, but I know Kairat Akhmedov has already issued a challenge to DJ, and I think Kairat, if I'm not mistaken, is now 25-3 or 25-2, one of the best flyweights in the world, combat sambo world champion, and amazing wrestler. And heavy hands, so he's definitely one of the guys that would potentially be welcoming DJ into One Championship, and I think it'd be an incredible fight between the two. Yeah.
Thank you. Our next question comes from Brian Mazaki from Forest. Please ask your question. Brian, your line is now open. Thank you.
Yes, first question is for Demetrious. I know that, first of all, congratulations on joining One Championship. But one offers a lot of different things maybe that I don't know, maybe they weren't quite as available for you with UFC. I know you're a huge gamer, and you're using your Twitch channel for that and that sort of thing. So outside of the ring or outside of actually competing in martial arts, can you talk about some of the other opportunities that were attractive to you with joining One, or was it purely about martial arts?
Well, obviously it was, purely about martial arts, but they also do have some more things coming down the pipeline that, I cannot discuss, obviously. And obviously just being over in Asia where, video games is very, very looked at cool as to in America. If you play video games as an athlete, you look at it as a nerd. So that's also something that kind of interests me as well. And obviously, my size over in Asia, I'm a normal height, I guess you can say. I know Chartri's probably 5'9", 5'10", I'm not sure. But for me, I'm not the smallest guy in an organization anymore. I'm like the third heaviest, or not third heaviest, but not the smallest guy anymore. As in America, everybody always looked at me as a child, I guess you can say. And I won't have that issue when I'm in Asia competing.
I think, Brian, also, for me, it's like DJ embodies true martial arts. Obviously, Asia's been the home of martial for 5,000 years, and it's basically been, a way of life for Asians, and the honor, the respect, the humility, the integrity, the discipline, the compassion that you earn through thousands of hours of training. It's how we live our lives out here in Asia. And I think DJ not only is the best pound for pound king to ever do it, but I think he embodies everything authentic and everything beautiful about martial arts. And so I think he's going to transcend, being just a martial arts star. I think if you look at who's transcended just being a martial arts star, whether it's Bruce Lee, Donnie Yen, Jet Li, there's countless of Jackie Chan, there's countless of people who transcended. They're all martial artists, but they transcended just martial arts and became true global superstars. I think DJ has the potential. I know for sure his technical style will be very well loved out here in Asia, and I know his personality, his character, his values will really appreciate out here. I for one definitely, of course, I have a lot of admiration for DJ's athletic career, but I'm much more impressed by his character, his values, and who he is as a human being. And his life story, much more than anything else. So I think there's a lot of stuff, Brian, that in the coming weeks, in the coming months, and the coming years, will show DJ to be someone bigger and larger than life, not just in the cage, but outside of it as well.
Thank you. Our next question comes from Jesse Holland from MMAmania.com. Please ask the question.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for taking the time today. This question is for DJ. I think we're all in agreement that you're the best flyweight in the world and probably the best flyweight of all time. But before that, you were also one of the best bantamweights in the world. And I know there's still a lot of work to do at 125 pounds, but I have to imagine somewhere down the road, considering what's going on in the bantamweight division, that's somewhere on your radar. Can you talk a little bit about your short-term and long-term goals?
Yeah, obviously, my first term goal is to get over to Asia and to compete in the flyweight division. Obviously, the bantamweight division is my teacher, training partner, Bibiano Fernandez, and me and him would never cross paths to fight. I don't see me ever challenge Bibiano for his title. I am a man of respect, and I respect him as a friend, a brother, and a teacher. He's my jiu-jitsu coach. So when he's done with his reign, I will see where I'm at in my career, and then I will decide where I'll go. So that's long-term goal is obviously to stay healthy and keep on competing. And if I'm able to capture the One Championship title, flyweight title, then I would like to defend it as many times as I can. Then down the road, I'll sit down, my coaches, and obviously the hires up at One Championship and decide what I'll do next. But first things first, get over there, get my first competition under my belt in Asia, and then go from there.
Thank you. Our next question comes from Alex Lee from MMA Fighting. Please ask the question.
Hi, my first question for Chartri. Have you had a chance to speak to any other major promoters or owners like, Scott Coker since reports of the deal first came out? And has anyone been asking you sort of for advice, ideas, offering any other comments about trades and how to work these trades out?
Yeah, definitely. There's a lot of discussions going on globally. That's all I'll say. But I mean, for sure, this historic first trade ever in MMA history has sparked off a lot of discussions globally with all the major organizations. So if I had to predict, I don't think this is going to be the last time it happens, which is great for the fans, the organizations, and the athletes. I think it's something new that's unprecedented that will cause great positive impacts globally.
Thanks, Chartri. And for Demetrious, what kind of changes, if any, are you going to have to make to training? I mean, do you see opportunities to work with camps over there, depending where you're booked in Asia? Or do you expect your routine to be pretty much the same outside of the travel?
I would love to train at Evolve MMA when I come out to Singapore. And then I'm also going to do some cross-training with Viviano Fernandez. Typically, me and him train together when he comes down to Seattle. And he'll train at my gym. But I plan on going up there and training at his gym up in Canada just to get more of the man from the jungle and more of the guys who also train up as well. They got a lot of guys who actually compete who are my size. But still training at AC Pay Creation. And that's about it. And obviously getting ready because the one thing that was intriguing to me about One Championship is it's not always in a cage. They always switch it back and forth between a ring and a cage. And out of my whole entire career as a mixed martial artist, I've never actually trained in the cage. So this time I'll actually be able to train in a ring and prepare for my fights depending on what it's going to be in. And that kind of actually intrigued me instead of I never know which one I'm going to have to get ready for. It's something fresh and new.
Thank you. Our next question comes from Matthew Scott from SCMP. Please ask a question.
Hey, DJ. Matthew Scott here from the SCMP. Mate, you mentioned Viviano. How much of an influence was he on you in this making this decision? Was he in your ear for a while to get you to come out to Asia? And will you be in his corner next week in Singapore? And will you be bringing a message for the other fighters in One's flyweight division?
I would say if Viviano had an impact on this decision was that he had an impact on me. I think it was right before he signed with One Championship, and he had the opportunity to go to other organizations. He was like, long term for me, Asia has always been good to me. I'm a martial artist about respect, honor, discipline, and I feel that Asia was the best move for me. And he told me, he goes, I tell you, DJ, this is going to be good for you. Just watch. So obviously me and Viviano are very close. A family man, training partners, and I'm a student of his. So with that being said, it was a big decision. And I would not be in Viviano's corner. He has his team for that. I will be out there in Singapore. If he needs my help, I told him I'll be there to help him. And, I'm not going to come out there and bring a message to any of the flyweights in the One Championship division. I'm coming in there. I'm a new athlete. I got to work my way up the ladder just like everybody else did. Not looking for any handouts. Not looking to go over there and cause any drama because that's not a way of a martial artist. A martial artist is a person who works hard, keeps his mouth shut, and do what he's told.
Thank you. Our next question comes from Sazali Aziz from Straits Times. Please ask your question.
Hi, Sazali here. First of all, for Chartri, obviously with this sort of trade, Ben Askren is going over to the UFC. I'm sure you're very happy with capturing DJ for One. Do you feel that One has got the better end of the trade almost, and why?
No, I think everybody wins. I genuinely believe that One Championship wins. I genuinely believe UFC wins. I genuinely believe Ben Askren wins. I genuinely believe DJ wins. I think in this situation, genuinely, everyone's really happy. I mean, because it's for One Championship, we get the #1 pound for pound greatest mixed martial artist in history. and his style, his technical style, and who he is as a person is going to resonate very, very well in Asia. And Ben Askren going to UFC, he's going to prove that he's the best in the world, and he's going to dominate. And his style is also something that's very appreciated by American fans. So I think everyone wins.
Thank you. Our next question comes from Andrew Whitelaw from Fox Sport Asia. Please ask a question.
Hi, DJ. As you know, One Championship offers a lot more than just mixed martial arts. They've recently, in the last few years, got involved with submission grappling, boxing, Muay Thai, kickboxing. Does it appeal to you to branch out beyond MMA in your competing over the next year or so?
Yeah, I definitely think I have the skill set to do it. I actually have a Muay Thai, a shoot boxing competition underneath my belt. But first things first is to get my toes wet for the mixed martial arts, and it's definitely something. As long as Chartri's okay with it and my coach is okay with it, I don't see what's wrong with that. And that's one of the beautiful things about One Championship is that you're not just stuck in one pool. I'm sure if I put my name in a hat to try a Muay Thai fight, I'm sure they wouldn't be opposed to it, as long as I'm able to display that I have the skill set to do that, which I truly believe I do.
Yeah, I think that's a great question, Andy. For sure, I think in the future we're going to see crossover world champions across the different arts. So you'll have an MMA world champion who's also a Muay Thai world champion, who's also a kickboxing world champion on the One Championship platform. And that's what it makes it very, very exciting that we have the best of the best in each of the disciplines, whether it's from MMA to Muay Thai to kickboxing, boxing, submission grappling, jiu-jitsu, etc. So I think it allows all the martial artists to best express themselves and show their greatness to the world however they want. So you can imagine down the road DJ being, one flyweight world champion in mixed martial arts and a one flyweight, kickboxing world champion. These things are very, very possible. I do expect to see crossover fights in that regard. And so we have some exciting things in store for One Championship athletes.
Thank you. Our next question comes from Christopher Mohan from Malay Mail. Please ask a question.
Hi, question for Chartri. With Askren now left from UFC, what's the plans for the welterweight title, and also what does this departure mean for the welterweight division?
Well, we announced that our Jakarta show on November 17th will be for the vacant welterweight title that Ben has left, and it will be between Sebastian Kadestam and Tyler Maguire, both incredible welterweights with a great track of their success, and that should be a very explosive, dynamic fight.
Thank you. Our next question comes from Kauri Mesta from FHM Philippines. Please ask a question.
Hello, DJ. Congratulations and welcome to Asia. This is a question for both DJ and Chartri. Of course, it's probably inevitable that you'll come up against one of the Team Lakay competitors who are in your wheelhouse, although you've said you won't be gunning for the bantamweight title. Could you talk about a bit, please, about Genyo Stake and Joshua Pasha and other Lakay competitors, what they bring to the table, and your thoughts about competing with them?
Yeah, the Team Lakay competitors are amazing athletes. I've actually helped Bibiano train for Kenneth Dullingham multiple times, so I know they're no joke. Amazing stand-up. Their takedown defense is getting a lot better. Their grappling's getting a lot better. I've actually watched Jehe and Adriano Moraes, their last fight. I actually watched that one too. So they're fantastic competitors, and I can't wait to be able to mix up with those guys. I truly believe that their stand-up is legit. Like, these guys have been doing it since they were young. I started, in America, you don't start doing martial arts unless your parents put you in martial arts and karate when you're 4 or 5. But my upbringing came up in wrestling, and I joined wrestling just because I was in high school, and I was like, I'm going to wrestle. Then I started doing mixed martial arts when I was 18. So these guys have more training in martial arts than I'd ever had. So I'm looking to see how I fare against them.
Yeah, I think that's an interesting question. DJ, one thing, DJ and I spoke yesterday, and I just, kind of gave DJ guidance in that, out here in Asia, everyone's a martial artist practically, and it's a whole different style of mixed martial arts that he's going to encounter, because these strikers are high level. I mean, much higher level than strikers you find in Western organizations, and it's just because, as DJ had mentioned, a lot of these strikers in MMA have just been doing it since they're 3 years old, 4 years old, and now they've really caught up on the grappling and the wrestling, and so it really makes for a dynamic, very, very different fight. And DJ, of course, is incredible in all areas of his game, but I think it's a new challenge for DJ. It's a new look, and he's going to grow as a martial artist as a result.
Thank you. Our next question comes from Lewis Smith from MMA UK. Please ask your question.
Hi, DJ. Just wondering if you could talk a little bit about the new scoring system with One Championship. Obviously, with more Western sort of promotions, they score round by round, but one actually score as a whole. Do you think you have to sort of adopt a different style of fighting now you've gone one and a different scoring system like that?
Yeah, obviously the style of One Championship, the way they score the fight, they score the fight as a whole. And I've always been surrounded by that by my coach, Matt Hume, from his days judging during Pride. And the way we train the AIM configuration is train to finish. So I'm always looking for the finish. I'm not going to change it the way I fight. Obviously, I can finish a fight on the ground, stand it up. I got wins from submissions, knockout wins. So nothing's going to change at all. And I'm looking forward to actually scoring the fight as a whole, not trying to, I never tried doing round by round, but having that focus on just trying to put it away the whole entire time, which I'm already doing.
Thank you.
I think this is Chartri here. I think that's also a big factor, right? I mean, when you're fighting round by round, you can game the system and go for a takedown in the last 10 seconds of a round, a close round, and win the round. In One Championship, that doesn't count for anything. At One Championship, we count damage as the biggest criteria, and then near finishes, whether it's a KO or submission attempt, and near finishes, those are the criteria we judge. And it's as if it's a real quote unquote self-defense situation, and that's what martial arts is supposed to be about. It's not about gaming each round and going for a takedown and hugging somebody on the ground just to do nothing and no damage, and you could score 30 takedowns in One Championship, but if you don't inflict any damage and your opponent inflicts damage on you during stand-up, the person inflicts damage will win. And that's what would happen in real self-defense situation. A takedown just is a change of scenery. It's not necessarily a fight. So that's a big difference, and I think DJ's style again of always coming for the finish as a martial artist is going to resonate very, very loudly here in Asia.
Thank you. Our next question comes from Eddie Gomez from No Hold Barred. Please ask your question.
Thank you very much. Hello, everybody. DJ, congratulations on this deal. My question is about the themes that Chartri, and I think you mentioned also about respect and honor in the martial arts. The last organization you were in tried to have people do trash talking. You saw a riot in it, people attacking a bus full of fighters and not getting punished, all this type of thing. What do you see about that issue, about the culture of the martial arts, and how do you want to position yourself now that you're with One Championship?
Well, I was always never the biggest fan of all the way people went about promoting their fights over in North America. I was, I saw it as a way of some athletes using it as a way of bullying, a way of trying to gain followers. When an athlete says, on Twitter, why haven't you signed a contract yet to another athlete? And for me, I see it as a form of bullying, because all that's going to do is stir people to go to that person's Twitter or social media and say you're scared, you don't want this, you're a chicken. And when I see professional athletes doing that are trying to embody the spirit of martial artists, it just puts a bad taste in my mouth. So I'm very, and I say, with high praise, I'm very excited that I don't have to go through that whole thing and be able to carry myself as a true martial artist. And I felt I've always done that in my time here in North America. And now that everybody does that, it's in everybody's DNA in Asia. It's always about respect and promoting the fight the correct way as two martial artists are going to go in there. We're going to test our skills against each other. I'm very much looking forward to that way of promoting fights than it is in North America, because that was something I just didn't really fit in. And people told me, there's nothing worse than when I'm at the gym, working out, and somebody says, dude, if you want to be able to sell more tickets and get your name on the next Frosty Flakes, you got to talk more trash. And I was like, that's not who I am. I'm not a competitional person. I do mixed martial arts because it's something I love, and it helps me express my feelings. Like, I'm an artist when I go to compete. Artists don't, run their mouth and attack people or cause a big scene. They focus and put their energy on what they love to do, which is being a martial artist. What I love to do is being a martial artist. So I'm very much looking forward to it.
Thank you. Our next question comes from the line of Kanai Andrews from MMA Crossfire. Please ask your question.
Thank you. Question for DJ. DJ, you became the first flyweight champion for the UFC back at UFC 152 in 2012. You did your thing. You helped build up the division there, which was kind of new and different for the fans in North America. And now you're involved in this trade here, which is kind of interesting. Again, people are talking about it. So I was kind of curious, how does it feel to break some new ground and kind of set maybe a new path for maybe future UFC fighters that they could follow at some point?
It feels good, but I didn't have it. This wasn't just done by just me. There's multiple people involved in it. First round management, One Championship, Chartri, Matt Hume, the UFC. So it was a collective people coming together and making something happen. I've even been asking. So I think it's a great thing. I think if people want to be able to be traded between different be able to compete in different organizations, I think that we should have that option on the table. So, like I said, I'm always grateful and I'm blessed that this went through and I'm able to be a one athlete and see what my career does over here.
Thank you. Our next question comes from the line of Simon Samano from MMA Junkie. Please ask your question.
Hey, Demetrious, congratulations, first of all. I just wanted to ask you, as you now transition over to One Championship and you look back at your UFC time, do you leave the UFC with any regrets, or are you just completely comfortable leaving the organization where you did on the foot that you did?
Yeah, I leave the UFC and with no regrets, on good terms. I believe I've accomplished everything I could there. I've defended about 11 times. I've won a fight every single way you can possibly think of. Knockout, submission that nobody's ever seen before. I've done everything I can over there, and I think me coming to One Championship, there's a lot of new goals, a lot of fresh things, a lot of fresh matchups, and like Chartri said earlier in the call, is that this is different. The guys in Asia, they've been doing this since they're 3 or 4 years old, so they bring a different type of style of mixed martial arts to the table. Train with Bibiano, he says, everybody over there is so much trickier. Their step's a lot sharper. So I'm looking forward to the challenge to see, if I prepare for this.
Thank you. Our next question comes from Dylan Valker from Liberty Multimedia. Please ask your question.
Hi there. Thanks for taking my call, guys. My question was for Demetrious. You talked about being a new competitor within One Championship, but also Matt Hume has some heavy degree of involvement, and a lot of great competitors in this flyweight division, Akhmatov and Suba, a lot of great names there, Moraes, Eustaquio, for instance. I'm wondering what your level of familiarity is with some of the competitors within the flyweight talent pool for One Championship. Is it going to be diligent study going forward, or is there some base level understanding of what all those respective fighters bring to the table?
There's some form of intelligence of what those guys all bring to the table. Obviously, they're all athletes and all martial artists. And in my whole entire career, I have never gone out and scouted a whole bunch of guys. I always scouted the guy that I'm going to fight when the contract's signed, and that's what I'm getting ready for. But at the end of the day, if I go out there and be the best Demetrious Johnson and be the best martial artist I can be on that night, it shouldn't matter who's across from me. As long as I go out there and execute what I know I can do, then it doesn't matter doesn't matter who's in front of me. I should be able to go out there, execute my game plan, and be able to put them away. So I'm looking forward to it. Those are all phenomenal athletes, and I have nothing but the utmost respect for those guys. And I'm just looking forward to be able to share, the ring or cage with them, depending on where, what championship has it at.
Thank you. Our next question comes from Jenny Chua from Sinchu. Please ask a question.
Okay, thank you. My question is to Chartri. So now with the signing of AD and DJ, are you is One Championship looking at signing more talents from other international promotions?
Yes, we are in multiple discussions with multiple athletes. That's all I can say. Stay tuned for more big announcements.
Thank you. Our next question comes from Mika Frank from Cage Minds. Please ask a question.
Hi, DJ. You already spoke about wanting to get over to Asia as soon as possible, but do you have a timeline in mind for when you'd like your first appearance to be?
Yeah, I haven't sat down and talked to my coach yet. I have a lot of traveling. I got BlizzCon coming up here pretty soon. I'm going out to Singapore. I'm thinking about hopefully maybe January, February, depending on how my body holds up. I just got off of medication and got healthy again. So once I get back in the gym and start training, see how the body holds up, then then I'll try to shoot for hopefully January, February. But it all depends on the body. Depends on what's going on in One Championship as well.
Thank you.
Thank you. Our next question comes from Ivan Saldajano from back out of Philippines. Please ask a question.
Okay. Good morning. You mentioned earlier that you are, to Demetrious, by the way, you said that you are looking forward to fighting early 2019. But how many fights do you need for you challenge Jay Yustaki for the one flyweight title? And to Chatty, what will be your early plans for Demetrious?
I think there's a few names for DJ off the bat. I mean, we have Kairat Akhmetov, who's 25-3. We have Adrian Moraes, who's 17-3. Even Danny Kingdad, Johnny Suba. There's a whole list of flyweights, who would be an excellent matchup with DJ. I'd have to sit down with DJ as well in terms of timing and again, I want him to come in 100% healthy and nothing short of it. And of course, there's a lot of expectations around the world watching DJ compete in One Champ for the first time, so he's got to be 100% ready. And these are some really, really tough guys that again will give DJ an entirely different look from what he's used to. So he's got to become well prepared. And obviously Jay as well is in the mix, but there are no plans. And I think DJ said it right. He's the new kid on the block. He's the new guy in One Championship Flyweight division, and he's got to earn his way to the top. He's not going to get any easy path or anything. We're going to feed him right away to the Sharks and see how he does.
And I think Chartri said it. I'm a very good swimmer, and I'll come over there prepared. So I'm not looking to go in there and get an immediate title shot. I know Jay Hay and Adrian Moraes, they have a rematch that's going on, which I think they both deserve. And I have no problem working my way up to earn that number one contendership spot. So I'm going to get back in the gym, head down, make sure I'm 100% healthy when I go over to Asia. And it's totally different for me. I've never fought over in Asia. I've always fought in North America. So with the dieting and the sleeping, make sure I take the right approach as a professional to make sure when I step foot in there that I'm 100%.
from of Santino Honasan from ABS-CBN. Please ask your question.
Hey, good morning. First of all, DJ, congratulations on the deal. I asked this to Eddie Alvarez last week as well. With you and Eddie Alvarez coming over, of course, obviously you guys are big names in the mixed martial arts scene. Do you feel that you and Eddie coming over to One Championship will also eventually attract even more big names to the promotion?
Absolutely, 100%. One Championship is the home of martial arts, you know, and it's not even going to be just mixed martial artists coming over to One Championship. I'm sure One Championship, Chartri, those guys have their eyes out on the best kickboxers, the best Muay Thai guys coming over, possibly from Glory or any other promotions. So I bet you will see a lot more athletes coming over to One Championship from mixed martial arts promotions in North America, but don't count out other promotions as well that aren't in mixed martial arts like kickboxing and Muay Thai.
Thank you. Our next question comes from Leon Jennings from Asian Federation MMA. Please ask your question.
My question is DJ. Firstly, welcome to One Championship. I want to know, is there any fighters still in the UFC that you'd like to face or face again? You'd like to follow you to One Championship? Maybe Henry Cejudo?
That's all depend on that person. I have no idea who wants to follow me. You know, when Henry Cejudo just won in the belt over there in the UFC, I think I have no idea what his plans is. Me and Henry don't talk. But it's all up to the athletes. You know, Asia's always had a special part in my heart to be able to compete over there, and for me not to capture or seize the opportunity to come over here and compete in One Championship, I felt like I'll be doing myself a disservice and my family and my career. You know, I believe you always want to follow your heart, and I felt like this was the perfect time for me to make it happen.
Thank you. The next question comes from of Bob Carson from Carson's Corner Podcast. Please ask your question.
Hi, thank you. My question is for DJ. DJ, there's no question that you've had a tumultuous relationship with the UFC. You know, you were on a 13-fight win streak prior to the loss to Henry Cejudo. A lot of people felt that, you know, this was kind of mistreatment on their part. Did any of that at all factor into your decision to leave the UFC, considering the fact that, you know, you had several fights on your contract left?
No, not at all. It did not. It was something I wanted to do, and I'm like I said, it was something I wanted to do, and I brought it to my management, and they were able to make it happen, and here we are. Now I'm a one athlete.
Thank you. The next question comes from Khan Bui from Detail 247. Please ask your question.
Oh, hi, Terry and everyone. Welcome, DG, to One Championship. The first question for DG, do you think that how One Championship promotes the organization based on the local culture and the humble fighter characteristic is one of the reasons that you agree to join in the One Championship? Thank you.
Yes, absolutely. You know, One Championship, they are about bringing up heroes. And the first time I watched the Burmese Python fight in the last event in Yangon, and I could see how the crowd would react to him after when he stepped into the fight and after he won, and how the whole crowd was seeing his name. I can see that his countrymen, his people, really see him as a hero, not as, you know, a bad athlete and who's going to go to a bar after this and beat somebody in the face or anything like that. They honestly are the home of martial arts. And it's not just mixed martial arts. It's kickboxing, boxing, Muay Thai, submission grappling. And for me, that just intrigues me about it. They're focused on promoting true martial artists, humble, discipline, integrity, and humility, and that's all that I stand for. So absolutely, I'm 100% on board with that.
Thank you.
And I think,
the next
you know,
question?
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead to the next question.
The next question comes from Tom Taylor from bjpen.com. Please ask a question.
Yeah, hi. This question's for DJ. DJ, right after the news of the trade broke, Eddie Alvarez gave you a little shout out on Twitter. I'm just wondering if you and him have shared any words kind of behind the scenes, if you've discussed your simultaneous moves to One Championship.
I would say we are both happy.
Thank you. The next question comes from Jesse Holland, MMAmania.com. Please ask a question.
Hi again. This is a question for Chartri. A fight against DJ, and more importantly, a win. It's the kind of thing that can change a fighter's career. This news broke, and it was pretty much all over the web. How badly did the fighters blow up your phone saying, I want a piece of this guy, let me get him first?
I got tons of messages already. Definitely, for me, I'm a lifelong martial artist too, and for me to be able to welcome DJ, who I consider the greatest pound for pound mixed martial artist in history, and the #1 pound for pound king today, it's just an honor, and I think all the other athletes feel the same way. And as DJ alluded to, it's really just about the spirit of martial arts, especially with martial arts competition. It's not about beating somebody up. It's about testing your craft that you've honed for years and years against another person, so that you can see how good you are relative to yourself. There's a saying in martial arts, basically, the greatest achievement in life is to outperform yourself. And I think when people message me about wanting to compete against DJ, it's because DJ is the greatest. He's the greatest that's ever done it. And I think everyone's just super excited to be able to test their skills. And I think, again, like I said, I spoke to DJ yesterday and I said, hey, DJ, man, just make sure you're 100%, ready and make sure you're not thinking it's going to be a walk in the park, because some of these guys in the flyweight division are real monsters, real killers, highly decorated world champions in other martial arts. One Championship has 103 world champions on its roster across different disciplines who also happen to compete in mixed martial arts. So, if you're competing against a Muay Thai world champion who's already well-versed in wrestling and submission grappling, you're going to have your hands full if you're not able to take this person down. So these are new challenges for DJ, and I think, these are guys who've been doing martial arts for their entire lives since they're 3 years old, as opposed to in the U.S., a lot of mixed martial artists who turn pro and join, the top global organizations. Maybe they've done martial arts 3 years or 5 years, and they join the organizations. Here in Asia, every single country, there is a homegrown martial art, and all the kids across Asia are doing martial arts. So, it's part of the culture, it's part of the history, part of the traditions. And so, this is just, a really exciting time for Asia. It's a really exciting time for DJ's career. And I think, as One Championship expands, we're going to announce a US TV deal imminently. And I think, with the right marketing, DJ is going to be a global star, not just in Asia, but back in the States, because we're going to be marketing him very, very heavily.
Thank you. The next question comes from Sityodtong from The Standard. Please ask the question.
First of all, congratulations, DJ, for coming to One Championships. I'm asking from the fans' perspective here in Thailand. A few of them actually called me and asked about your lost the title in August, and how come you didn't decide to go back and maybe take the title before coming to join the One Championship? And the other question is actually for Kun Chartri. I want to ask about this historical deal and what it means to the industry for the mixed martial art, and is it possible in the future for One Championship and UFC maybe to have a crossover fight?
I think for me, going back and kind of regain my title, there was nothing there for me to, because I looked at it as a standpoint as a martial artist. It was something that I've already beaten here in Cejudo, and I truly felt that I've been beaten a lot worse. in my fights. You know, when I fought Dominic Cruz, I felt like I truly was the smaller guy. I truly felt like he suplexed me for 3 times, for God's sakes. So with that, I thought if I went back and fought, who knows how the fight could have won. I could have won it the 3rd time, or I could have lost again. And I took a step back and I said, okay, what do I truly want? Like, ask yourself that, DJ. What do you truly want? And I was like, I wanted something different. I wanted to mix it up. I wanted to do something different. I wanted to be able to walk out to the cage and feel butterflies, or if it's the ring. I want to face different type of competition. And I knew if I went back and if I won the belt again, then I knew I would be staying in the exact same organization, fighting the exact same athletes, which they are phenomenal athletes, but I beat pretty much everybody on that roster so far. And so I felt this was a perfect opportunity to me. I wasn't held by being a champion anymore. For the longest time, you know, a lot of people in North America wanted a new champion to see if they can really push that pay-per-view model. They really didn't care about how my skill set was. They really wanted somebody who was going to be brash, who's going to disrespect. And not that Henry Cejudo did that, but they wanted somebody else. I felt like they wanted somebody else. And when I say somebody else, not the UFC, I felt like the public wanted somebody else to try to take that mantle to somewhere I couldn't, like for numbers or bring notoriety or whatever. And so I felt like, you know what, this is my perfect time for me to go pursue something I want to pursue and let those guys handle that. And that's how I genuinely felt, you know, like I'm going to pursue what I wanted to do, which is compete in one championship in Asia and test my skill set over there.
Yeah, and for me, you know, DJ, you know, beat Henry the first time via KO very quickly, and in this last fight, it was very close, and the judges, it could have gone either way, you know, being a split decision. I actually had it in favor of DJ in my own scorecard, but the reality is this: DJ's still in the prime of his career. The best of DJ is going to come in the next 3 years, 5 years. He's just getting started. Yes, he's accomplished a lot, a hell of a lot already. But again, it's a whole different style of fighting out here. And can he adapt? Can he conquer? Can he do what he's done in the past? Those are big question marks for me. And I think for me, you know, this trade being historic, I didn't really think of it that way initially, but then, you know, there's a lot of media saying this is the first historic trade. So I guess it is. So it's great to be part of it, but that was never part of why I was doing this. I was doing this genuinely because I saw a win-win-win situation for all parties involved. And honestly, he's my number 1 or number 2 most favorite fighters ever. So again, it's an honor for me to be able to work with him and to showcase his real skills, but more importantly, tell his story and make sure people really get to know DJ for who he is. And once people do, you know, I really believe he's going to be that global superstar, and his ability to inspire the world, his ability to affect change, his ability to do good in the world is just going to be magnified exponentially on the One Championship platform.
Thank you. The next question comes from the line of Brian Mazikri from Borders. Please ask your question.
DJ, you know, we've been talking a lot about martial arts, and I touched on the gaming thing with you a little bit earlier. And you mentioned that you were going to BlizzCon. So I wanted to ask you, right now, what games are you playing? Are you playing Red Dead Redemption? Are you playing Soul Calibur? What are you gaming on right now?
I'm dabbling a little bit into Soul Calibur 6, currently playing World of Warcraft, Battle for Azeroth, playing PUBG, PlayerUnknown, and I've been playing the new Call of Duty Black Ops 4. So I've been circling around, but my stable game that I've been playing a lot on the Twitch channel, and everybody hates it, is World of Warcraft. I've been a big fan of that since Burning Crusade back in, I think it was 2008 it came out. And so that's where we're focusing most of our time on right now. But I just competed at TwitchCon for the Esports Theater Bowl, came in second place. There was 4 teams, 1 first place and 3 second place. So I feel good about that. But so I've just been playing everything.
Thank you. The next question comes from JP Manahan from Lifeguards PH. Please ask a question.
Hello and good morning. Just want to confirm that, do you have any confirmed that Demetrious has an early 2019 plan for Chartri regarding his fight, and also how does the welterweight? I know you said that there's a November 17th title fight for the welterweight division, but how does that division figure in without Ben Askren?
So, first of all, yeah, I do think DJ fighting in January or February is probably a realistic timeline. I do believe it's going to be one of the names I mentioned. So whether it's Kyra Akhmatov or whether it's, Johnny Tuba, whether it's Johnny Kingsad, or whether it's Adriano Moraes, there's a whole list of guys who would make an excellent welcome for DJ. Yes, I mean, I do have big plans for DJ. I do want to keep him very active, as active as he wants to be, and really promote his brand and promote who he is, not only in Asia, but across the world. And then to your second question, what was the second question again?
The departure of Ben, and I know you said that there's
right.
Yeah,
So we are, like I mentioned earlier, we are in multiple discussions with many athletes around the world. Some big names, some rising stars. It's so stay tuned for some big announcements. But I mean, we're constant. I mean, if you look at our roster today, across all the different martial arts that we offer on the One Championship platform, whether it's MMA or whether it's Muay Thai, kickboxing, boxing, or submission grappling, etc. We've upgraded our roster, significantly. I mean, the roster is day and night versus a year ago, day and night versus 2 years ago. I would say the roster of One Champion today is as strong as it's ever been in history. From mixed martial arts, having the greatest pound-for-pound athlete, DJ in kickboxing, having the greatest pound-for-pound kickboxer in history, Georgia Petrosian. In Muay Thai, having the greatest pound-for-pound Muay Thai fighter in history, Yotsang Clive Fairtex. In Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, having Roger Gracie, the greatest Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu stylist to ever live. Submission grappling, having the pound-for-pound best Gary Tonin. We're just stacked across all the forms of martial arts now, all the disciplines, and the bench is very, very deep. Maybe the Western media is not familiar with a lot of these names, but these guys are lifelong martial arts. And again, I reiterate, on the roster of One Championship, we have 103 world champions. There is no other roster in the entire planet that has 103 world champions from different various backgrounds, right? So I would argue that One Championship has, right now, the greatest world championship talent in martial arts available anywhere in the world.
Thank you. Our next question comes from Andrew Whitelaw from Fox Sport Asia. Please ask your question.
Hi, Chartri. The news came out in August about the debut show in Tokyo, Japan, that we can look forward to at the end of March. Given the magnitude of that show and I suppose the importance of the Japanese market, the news of Eddie signing and now DJ came swiftly on the back of that. So how keen would you be to have one or both of those guys feature on the Japan card?
Oh, I think it would be epic. And I'm going to start on the Japan card with the competition team. We're going to start looking at the Japan card probably in the next month or so. And yeah, we definitely want to stack it with big names. And so probably Eddie will be on it, or DJ, or both. And we're going to do it at Ryogoku, which is the symbolic home of martial arts for Japan. It's where the Sumo World Championships are held, and in a really historic building. And we chose that because we wanted to honor, the real Bushido way of martial arts in Japan, with their, sumo being one of the greatest cultural treasures of Japan, and holding it in the place where they hold their annual sumo championships for centuries, right? So this is going to be amazing.
Thank you. And our last question comes from Damian Martin from MMAweekly.com. Please ask the question.
DJ, one last question for you, kind of a two-part question. You're done with the UFC now. You're part of One Championship, but I'm sure you've heard the rumors, with your exit and now Henry Cejudo possibly going up to 135 of the UFC getting rid of the flyweight division. So I want to get your thoughts on if that happens. And kind of the second part of that, would you like to see, if that does happen, some of the fighters from the UFC maybe join you in One Championship?
Yes, I did hear about that. I think it's unfortunate. I think the flyweight division in North America and in the UFC is a fantastic division. I think, as me being an athlete and a martial artist, I think it's not always about does this division make money, as you can say. I think they should keep that division, my personal opinion. They have a new champion, a lot of new fresh matchups. They can, try to sell. I mean, they can work it out. And that's up to the athletes. I mean, if the athletes want to follow, they all have their own passions and their own goals that they want to pursue. And there's many organizations out there, but I truly believe that One Championship is probably the best one for all those guys because it, embodies martial artists.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, that does conclude our conference for today. Thank you for participating. You may all disconnect.